Okay, I think we're live. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Looks like there's a few people here, so thank you for being here on time. So nice of you, no matter what time it is where you are. We've already got easily ignored, Scrumlass, Tonto. Yeah, what a crazy couple. Well, one day of Sumo, how much things have changed. Brian's in here. Welsh Gray is in here. Hello. Good morning from Ohio, the morning state in America. Uh, yeah, so we're going to jump into We'll give a few minutes for people to show up, and then we'll get started with the normal look back on day 14. And of course, we'll look ahead now that the matchups are published for day 15. They weren't obviously, they like to keep that secret during the broadcast, during the sumo matches today. And I actually haven't looked at them, although I know, the big one. We all know the big one. Morning from Rascal on the Run. Almost midnight for me, but good morning to you. A lot of people, it is morning. Morning from Ontario, Canada. Hello, Mr. Osborne. Oh, Scrumlass is going to be spoilers. Okay, well, the big spoiler is the Ozeki pulled out of the tournament today. That's one of the things that people are talking about. Yeah, he hurt his knee, and I guess he was prepared to wrestle today. And it was swelling, and they took, there was bleeding inside, etc. So he had to pull out of the tournament. And 3 weeks or so of no, activity and things like that to make it get better. Hopefully he'll be back in November. We'll hear more about it when the Basho ends tomorrow. They'll be a little bit more forthcoming, I think, with details. Ohio gozaimasu from JK. Hello from Michigan, from Jay Hockenberry. Cleo says, Jason, thank you for making these videos. Always look forward. Thank you, Cleo, for being here and watching the videos. Cosmonaut Nomad said, I forgot it was going to be live. Yes. Kyle says, hey, Jason, what's up, Kyle? Ying Yang, good morning from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello, Ying and Yang. Michael says, all the pressure on Hoshoryu. Yes. And we'll talk about how he was feeling that pressure, obviously, even today on day 14, which made him maybe do something in his match against Wakatake Kage that I don't think he would have normally done. Konbanwa from Colin. Yes, it is still evening. You are perfectly legitimate with your aisatsu, your greeting. Thank you. Aloha, Scott, the manic and mystical Scott is here from Hawaii. Yeah, it is bad, and it's a shame because I think a lot of people were hoping he would have another good match against Onosato today, win or lose, but put up a good fight and make Onosato earn, that 1-win advantage. And of course, he was able to just waltz into tomorrow with a 1-win advantage, not even having to wrestle today. So he gets a day of rest before a huge matchup tomorrow. It's a shame that's the way it worked, but you can't stage manage injuries. They happen when they happen. Mara, hello, Mara, longtime channel supporter. Thank you, Mara. NC, I'm assuming that's North Carolina. I don't know, what else would NC be? North Columbia. Are you in Columbia? That would be awesome. No, I don't even know what else North NC could be other than North Carolina. Thank you, Char, for being here. Yeah, he was having a really good tournament until he lost 2 in a row, Hoshoryu, and people were like, uh-oh, is this, and then today he obviously got the win that he needed to get, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then will he beat Onosato tomorrow? I guess I'll do a poll over in the chat later, and you guys can let me know what you think. Oh, well, thank you. Shadakapapapap. I don't know how to say your name. From the Philippines says I'm looking handsome. Well, thank you. I don't think I am. I think I'm looking tired and like it's 11:30, but I try my best. Good afternoon from the UK, Fizz Knit. Are you going to be going to see them in London soon? They'll be in London next month. New Caledonia. All right. Is that where you're? Wait. Oh, I missed David from Melbourne. Melbourne's even ahead of me, so it's tomorrow for you. Char Fizzard, are you from New Caledonia or North Carolina? Now I have to know. Fort Worth Sumo Club. Hey Bishop, what's up? Just checking in before we get started here. Steve's in here. Hey Steve, longtime supporter of the channel from St. Louis. Oh, Colin's saying that he thinks Hoshoru is going to win, and the reason is that their head-to-head, Onosato's record against Hoshoru is not good, so that he feels that Hoshoru can pull it off tomorrow. Char is in fact from North Carolina, but he wishes maybe sometimes it was New Caledonia. Yeah, huge turnover in Sanyaku. I agree. And that's something we need to talk about. We need to talk about Kirishima and Wakatakakage, what happened to them today and what implications that has. Yeah, I mean, Kotozakura has his 8, so he's going to be in Ozeki in November. Now, if he doesn't fight in November because of the injury, he can do that and sit out all the way until January because he'll just be Kadoban. But he does have to show up in January and get 8 wins, or he would be demoted to Sekewake. So, yeah, Cosmonaut, I'm not sure which knee it is. That's a good question. Yeah, and Tube Wings is pointing out the obvious that as Colin has his faith in Hoshoru, and I think a lot of people are hoping that Hoshoru wins, he's got to win twice, right? He's got to beat Onosato in regulation to give him the second loss, and then they have to have a playoff. And all of that will go in Onosato's favor because of the day of rest, although Hoshoru didn't expend that much effort, let's put it that way, in the final match of the day today. Yeah, I think Aonishiki has been an absolute highlight of this tournament, and we'll talk about his chances of being promoted to Yokozuna. A little premature, Jason, to being promoted to Ozeki. All right. So thank you all for being here. Sumo Kitty says hello. Cheers, Kampai. Let's do the Sumo Summary Show thing and just get into it here. All right. So let me make sure that you guys can see what I'm seeing. All right. Yeah, possible playoff. Well, I mean, that's the only way Hoshoru is going to win is a playoff, right? So, okay. So something I didn't even do at the beginning of the day, and I didn't even know it had happened until about 8 matches in, and Hiro Morita, just said, oh, by the way, don't forget, the Ozeki pulled out of the tournament today. So there it is. Kotozakura absent from day 14. The only Rikishi to pull out the entire tournament during the tournament, other than these 2 guys who pulled out before day 1 in a way and never showed up. So, yeah, pretty startling news. And if you watch, I'll go over to, I'll go over to my Patreon in a second, but if you watch the video, I think it's, well, here, let me share it and I'll be able to tell you. All right. Make sure you guys are seeing it. You are good. If you go to, this is my coverage, the Kirishima versus Takanosho match, that ends up becoming the second match, second to last match of the day because there's no Ozeki match. And in this footage here, Ono Sato walks out and accepts his free win, and you can hear the crowd just like, whoa, just one of those, like, a lot of them sitting there in the arena had no idea that the Ozeki had pulled out of the tournament. So kind of a gasp rippled through the audience as it was mentioned that he might be not showing up for work. Yeah, wow, it might be the end of this that has that in it. Both Komusubi matches, and because this is such a long video, 12:14, 12 minutes, I think maybe the Kyujo announcement is at the end of this video, actually. I might have made a mistake. But anyway, if you're a Patreon person, you can go over and watch it, and you'll see it. I also had a little bit of Juryo today, and we should talk about Juryo because it is really exciting what's happening down there as well. And that's got me just as excited about anything else that's happening over, on day 15. So, yeah, I think his pullout was last minute. I mean, Ozzy, I heard that he told Sumo people around noon, but I didn't think to check it. You kind of assume that he was going to show up because he didn't look injured at the end of yesterday when the match was over. So, it was definitely unexpected in that sense for sure. And Two Wings is right. At least he's not Kadoban in November. So even if he has to sit out November, he can do that. And then he'll have to, like I said, he'll have to get 8 wins in January. Okay. Let's go back and look at actually what happened. So thank you for leaving comments. I will try my best to get to them. Oops, that was the wrong way to do that. Let's try again. I have some fun stuff to show you that I got in the mail today. So stick around after the kind of, let's run down what happened today. And I've got a few fun things to show you here on camera. Okay. So we'll jump into what actually happened on day 14. We'll start down in Juryo. So no shade to some of the other people. We've got a lot of 7s and 7s. So I think we're going to have a lot of Darwin matches in both Juryo and in Makuchi. Nishinoru, who I'm taking a shine to, got his Kachikoshi today, so I was very happy about that. Another good match from him over Tamashoho. Then we get to the matches that have Yusho implications. Asanoyama at J13 beat Fuji Seiyun, so he's 11-3 now. That's on the channel. Same video, doubleheader video. It was going to be a doubleheader, but I was having audio problems, so I think I ended up splitting this into 2 videos. Asahakaru, his stablemate, beat Kageyaki today, denying Kageyaki Kachikoshi, and he went to 12-2. Then Mita did get a 9th win. He beat Kazekeno, and he can get a 10th win tomorrow. Koto Eho got closer to Kachikoshi at J2 and possible promotion or re-promotion back up to the top division if he can get an 8th win tomorrow by beating Kotokuzan. Hatsuyama got his Kachikoshi over Chiyoshima. And Oshomi didn't get a 10th win, but it doesn't really matter. At J1 with 9 wins, he's going up to the top division no matter what. And then the other person that had 11 wins going into today, Nishiki Fuji, is fighting in the top division today. And these two guys, Asahakaru and Asanoyama, because they're stablemates, can't fight each other in regulation. So when we see the day 15 matchups in Juryo, they would normally put these two guys together long ago because one's a J11 and one's a J13. They would naturally fight each other, but because they're stablemates, they don't. And they'll probably face off in a playoff. But really, all that matters is tomorrow, if Asahakaru wins his match, he is the champion at 13-2. And, it doesn't matter if Asanoyama wins or not. But if he loses, then that's where it gets interesting. Okay, up in Makuuchi, Go back and check in on the comments. We're having some Henka discussions. I think the difference is Scrumlass is how much you engage at the tachiai. Do you take the hit and then shift, or do you just get out of the way immediately? And that's the difference to me. Hit and shift was done a lot by one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. That's Haruma Fuji, one of the Mongolian yokozuna back in the day of Hakuho and Kakiru. And he was a smaller guy, and he would hit and shift a lot. But that's not the same as a henka, in my opinion. A henka is what um, uh, Hoshoru did today. It's just jumping out of the way. So there you go. All right. Some Darwin matches. Tube Wings pointing out that there's only a few. I would have thought there were more. But we'll look at who's fighting who on day 15 in a minute. Oh, are you Pearl? Are you talking about my reaction to Hoshoru today? Yeah. Well, if you watch the video on Patreon, you'll see that I am not. I do not hold back my feelings about what he did. All right. Pearl, thank you for the $2. That's very nice of you. What's the counter technique to a henka? Spirit asks. I guess just not taking your eyes off your opponent, being very aware when you're going into the tachiai. But it's got to be hard. I mean, because you are just pumped. You're in it. You're just bursting forth, and 9 times out of 10, the guy coming at you is doing the same thing. And you're going to bonk together at the beginning like normal. And when there's nobody there, it's got to be a very hard to rein yourself in and not run just right out the other side of the dohyo. So yeah, it's completely legal. People do it. I just don't think you should do it if you're an ozeki or a yokozuna. I think it's a little bit below the rank. You should engage in the match. Or when you're really desperate, if you're 7-7 and you need that kachikoshi, I see pulling it out then. And I think Hoshoru maybe felt that today. He felt like, I have to win this match in order to have a chance at the championship, and so that's what he did. A double henka, yeah. That Barney, that's interesting. Maybe we have, and it just looked like a weird tachiai. But I don't know that I've ever seen, go, and then it's like, that would be funny. Yeah. And Sun Shu E says, it's the smartest thing Hoshoru could have done. There are people that will say that. I get it. I get why he did it. I just wish that he didn't, and that's it. All right, so let's go back to see what happened today in day 14 results. All right, we're all good here. So Shonana Umi started off with a win to get himself into 7-7 territory by beating the rookie, who's now 6-8 and M17. If he goes 7-8, he has a chance of still staying and not getting demoted. Especially if there's going to be a Maegashira 18 again next tournament. Maybe they'll just demote him down to M18. But he definitely needs a win tomorrow. Nishiki Fuji from Juryo in the hole, trying to get involved in the playoff, got his win to go to 11-3, the same as Asanoyama. So when we look at the record over there, we'll see how he's going to fit in. And he's definitely punched his ticket to come back up to Maegashira or the Makuchi division in November. He beat Asakoryu today. Tobizaru got his Kachikoshi. Yay, he's on my team for the contest. He goes 8-6. He beat Mitakeumi. Makekoshi for Mitakeumi. Nishikigi got just his second win of the tournament by beating Roga. Shishi having a great tournament down at M18. Got his 10th win today, and he beat Daisho. Sadanoumi went to 6-8 by beating Chiranaumi. Tomokaze, gets a 9th win by beating Midori Fuji, giving Midori Fuji a losing record. Ura, a 10th win over Ryuden. Both men entered this match with 9 wins each. And so Ura goes to double digits. Kimbozan struggles up to 7-7 to give himself a chance at KK tomorrow against Toki Hayate. Shodai can't get a 10th win. He loses to Oshoma. Good match. This was a good match. Shodai had some amazing perseverance at the edge, but Oshoma was able to get it done in the end. Meisei went to 5-9 by beating Atami Fuji, both guys having terrible tournaments. Gonoyama cannot get a second win. He'll try one more time tomorrow, but Fujinokawa goes up to 6-8. He's got a losing record, but if you can get a 7th win tomorrow, he'll only go down the Banzuke to like M10 or M11. Hakuoho couldn't get his Kachikoshi today. He has to wait till tomorrow. Wakamoto Haru got it instead. He's now 8-6. Oho denied Kusano his Kachikoshi win, but instead went to 9 wins himself. At M2, he's pretty much the lock to get the Komusubi promotion. If there's only one, if there's more than one, Hakuoho would be next, but he's got to get KK tomorrow. Onokatsu got a win over Tamawashi. Ichi Yamamoto, a 4th win. Abi, only 3 wins. And then Komusubi Takayasu beating Koto Shoho. He's got some juice left in the tank. The elder Komusubi at 6-8 now. Ao Nishiki going to 11-3 over Hirada Umi. He's destined, I'm telling you, 11-4 record every time. But no, I hope he wins tomorrow and goes to 12-3. But Hirada Umi will have to wait at 7-7 to day 15 to try to get his KK. Then Takanosho also at 11-3, beating Kirishima, the Sekewake. Onosato gets the walkover win when Kotozakura pulls out, so he goes to 13-1. Him being 13-1 means that Takanosho and Ao Nishiki are now eliminated from the Yusho hunt. They can't obviously be involved in any kind of playoff because the worst Onosato can do is 13-2. And then Hoshoru had to get the win over Wakatake Kage. He was 11-2, had to go to 12-2 to have a chance at Onosato tomorrow. So he pulled the Henka. They'll call it Hitaki Komi. And Wakatake Kage is now 6-8, as is Kirishima. All right. So let's talk about the 2 Sekewake for a moment. Both are now 6-8. If they can get a 7th win tomorrow, they both have a chance of only being demoted from Sekewake down to Komusubi. And Komusubi will be completely empty for that to happen because Ao Nishiki is going to go up and Takayasu is going to go down. So that could happen. But if either of them loses tomorrow, then they'll be demoted all the way down to Maegashira 1 or Maegashira 2, and there'll be open Komusubi slots. There'll also be an open Sekewake slot. So it's hard to say what happens then. And as somebody said in the chat earlier, it's going to be a complete, turnover of spots. It could be Oho. He could leapfrog Komusubi up to Sekewake, especially if he gets another win tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Hakuoho really wants to get that win tomorrow because he could very easily be a Komusubi in November. And again, it really just depends what Wakatake Kage and Kirishima do tomorrow, if they get that 7th win or not. And yeah, so, but definitely Ao Nishiki is going to be a Sekewake for sure. And that's great. And then we need to look at his numbers. We'll go back. I'll share my screen. Well, let's look at his numbers. Can he get promoted to Ozeki if he has a really good November? We should look at that question. All right. Let me read some comments here. Yeah, all of you that are saying the Henka is just to get to Onosato and everything, I agree. But man, if he pulled a Henka tomorrow on Onosato, I think many of you would like be like, "Oh, dude, that's not cool." And so it's like it's situationally cool, you know what I mean? Most of you would be like, "Oh no, he's got to face Onosato. He's got to get that win legit." And so I just think that's why I just don't think, when you're at that high rank, you should be using it. Um, that Hakuoho should change his name. Nah, I think he owes a debt to Hakuho, and I think he probably, even though he doesn't probably say it around Isagahama stable, he's probably still very much, an acolyte of Hakuho, and my guess is they talk on the phone occasionally and things like that. Nah, that's all just completely, I have no way to know if that's true or not. I don't know if people ask him about that in interviews, but my guess is he stays in touch, and he's honoring where he came from with that name, and I don't know if it rubs people at Isagahama the wrong way. I don't see why it would. So, Two Wing says, for the record, the last time a Yusho winner beat their opponent twice on Senshuraku was 2023. So, not too long ago when Kiribayama, now Kirishima, did so against Daisho. Interesting. Okay. So, there we go. Yeah, Scrum Lass, I even said that on my broadcast today. I said, I feel bad for the people, who paid money. Well, in fact, I was talking about I felt bad for the people who paid money today on day 14 and didn't get to see Onosato fight because he got a free win. And so I was like, oh, how disappointed they must be that, even if you're a fan of him, if you paid money on day 14, you expect to see the Yokozuna fight. And he didn't have to today because he got the free win. And I'm like, oh, man, but at least they're going to get the Hoshoru match. I think I said that right when they brought out the banner and they were like, no more Kotozakura today. And then who knew? Who knew? Ton says it would be crazy if Onosato Henka tomorrow. He doesn't do that very often. I don't even remember a time when he's done that since he's gotten into the top division. Yeah, I just, I was booing at the TV. It really is not my thing. Hakuho Henka Terunofuji. Ah. Yeah, I don't think Hakuho did it very often either. He didn't have to. He was Hakuho. He injured his knee yesterday in his fight against Hoshoru. I haven't heard specifics of like how it happened or whatever, but yeah, I'd have to rewatch that match, and I should. I'll try to rewatch it tomorrow before the day's action. Yeah, Weg was in. Well, it's definitely the first time he's gotten double-digit wins, Shishi, in the top division. I checked that, and the last time he got more than 10 wins was in Juryo, and he did it twice in Juryo, and one time, of course, he won the Yusho when he got a 13-2 in Juryo, but he's never gotten 10 wins or more in the Makuchi. So, yeah, it's a fantastic tournament for him. He could finish with 11 wins. He might get a special prize. 11 wins is kind of on the edge of a special prize. So, all right. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back. Share my screen. Dun, dun. Thanks for being here. It's nice of you to come by. I think there's about 100 of you in here. Ligament damage, according to the report. Yeah, he said he heard something pop in his knee or something. So it's one of those. Okay. So tournament records. Well, tournament leaders, I think we know, but just in case. These two guys face off. One of them will be the champion. These guys don't matter anymore now. It's nice of them to put him up there. Asahikaru in the driver's seat. If he wins tomorrow, he wins the championship. But these two guys might be involved in a playoff if he loses, and they obviously have to win their own matches. So that's fun. And then just about everywhere else, it's been decided except in the Jonidan division, where they will have a playoff tomorrow. And if it's staged right before the Juryo playoff, I will put it up on the channel because it's always fun to see. All right, and then I think we wanted to look at really quickly. Let's look at Aonishiki. So normally your wins at an M1 ranking don't count toward Ozeki, but obviously right now, between July and September, he's got 22 wins, possibly 23 if he wins tomorrow. And he would only need, basically 10 or 11 wins in November to get 33. And of course, the final tournament would be at Sekewake, which is what they like. So I think it will matter. I think it will count because he's been so consistent. An 11-4, an 11-4, an 11-4, a special prize every time. Even though he hasn't won a Yusho, if he gets 12 or more wins in November, I think he will be promoted to Ozeki. And especially if he can get quality wins, right? If he can, he lost to one Yokozuna, but he beat the other Yokozuna. He beat both Sekewake. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not losing to low-tier opponents at all. Both of these times he's fighting and he beat the Ozeki. He beat one of the Yokozuna. He lost to Onosato. Onosato he can't seem to beat, but he beat both Sekewake here. So I think he has a good chance of being an Ozeki in January if he has a very good November. So I'm really going to be rooting for him. And, he's really young and he hasn't been in the top division that long, but they kind of need another Ozeki and he's the most likely candidate. So that's one thing. We've talked about the Sekewake. It would be nice to see the Emperor show up. He doesn't often come. And of course, it would be Onosato's first championship as a Yokozuna, but he already has 4. He's way ahead of everybody else in the top division, and this would be his 5th. It would be Hoshoru's 3rd top division championship, but his first as a Yokozuna as well. So either guy who wins, it's going to be his first tournament championship as a Yokozuna. So that's great. Two Wings is pointing out that the last time they included M1 wins in a 3-bout succession to get to Ozeki was when Tochinoshin did it way back in 2018. And that's true. Although I thought Terunofuji did it too, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, Terunofuji in 2015. Okay, let's see. It's not all completely mush. But anyway. Oh, thank you. JK says she loves my shirt. Zenzen Wakaranai. I do not understand at all. Japanese people love this shirt. All right. Okay, so let me just share one more time on that page, and then we'll look at the standings. Okay, we're all good. So, we've got to look at who's fighting who on day 15. Here we go. Starting down in Juryo. So we're just going to key in on the big matches. Goshima eating it up down in Makushita, already at 5-1, can go 6-1 with the win here. Kyoku Kaiyu, if he can go 7-8 at J13, though, he might stay in Juryo, so he's really going to be gunning for that win. Okay. So yeah, they're definitely okay. So Asanoyama has Mita, which if Mita were in better shape, I'd really be looking forward to this match. But he's so banged up, I think Asanoyama will get the win. 7-7 match here. So Darwin match. Shiden versus Kageyaki, and boy does Shiden need it way more than Kageyaki does. But Kageyaki, if we look at the records, an 8-7 here might put him back up in the top division. Then they put Asahakuru against Nishiki Fuji, which is a good pair up there. So one of them, if Asahakuru loses, then Nishiki Fuji obviously maintains his 3-loss record, and they'll both be 12-3. And if Asanoyama wins, he'll be 12-3. So that's going to be really exciting. And then we'd have a 3-way playoff. And even though they're stablemates, they will fight each other in the playoff. And if you haven't seen a 3-way playoff, try to watch it on my Patreon. It's interesting the way two guys go up at first, and then the other guy waits and things like that. So that is the scenario. If Asanoyama loses, then we could still have a playoff, because Asahakuru, if he loses to Nishiki Fuji, then they'll have these other few matches, and then at the end, they'll fight again, because one of them needs to be the champion. But if Asanoyama wins, he'll be involved in that playoff. Okay, and then we have another 7-7 Darwin match here. Asasuiru against Kotoeho. One of them will get Kachikoshi on the final day, and then some matches that aren't so important to round out the day. So if we go up to records and we look at the Juryo division, here's who we have getting promoted. Oshomi's a lock. Okay, Kotoeho maybe if he gets his 8th win. Chiyoshima is a lock. Nishiki Fuji is a lock. So we have 4 guys in the top 3 ranks who pretty much would get promoted. And that's all of those guys are ahead of Mita. So Mita, the only chance he has is if Kotoeho loses and doesn't get Kachikoshi. He could go number 4. He would go ahead of Kageyaki, even if Kageyaki wins tomorrow. But it just depends how many people they need to replace guys in the top division. Endo's going to get promoted down. Takeda Fuji, you have to remember, in the top division is going to get demoted because he pulled out of the tournament at like an M12 ranking. And then we've got Fuji Seiyun. So, the guys who got 11 way down the Banzuke down here, Asahakuru and Asanoyama, they will go way up the Banzuke. But even if one of these 2 guys wins the Yusho, it won't get them promoted all the way up. He'll go from J11, my guess is, to like J1, because they've got plenty of other guys up here that will get promoted on the basis of their good records. Okay. So who's fighting who in the top division tomorrow? Tobizaru starts the day against Asakoru. Asakoru could use this win. Let's see. Shodai has Shishi. That's a fun matchup there to see if Shodai can get double digits. It's been a while since he's done that. Somebody was asking about Shishi. I'll just show it really quick. 10-4. So yeah, all this year he hasn't gotten 10 until you go all the way back to January when he was down in Juryo, and he went 13-2. And the other time he did it was when he was in Juryo here at Juryo 10. He went 11-4. But in the top division, he's never gotten more than 9 wins. So this is the first time double digits in the top division for the man from Ukraine. So that's great for him. All right. Somebody's saying only 3 people look like they're going to be demoted. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of guys. I don't think Mito will probably get a chance. He'll have to go up to J1 and just have another good tournament. Hopefully the hand can recoup and he'll be fighting much stronger in November. Okay, back to who's fighting who tomorrow. This is probably a much more important win, but even if he finishes 6-9 at M13, he's safe. Here's one of our Darwin matches that Tube Wings was mentioning, Shonana Umi against Kusano, and this is much more important for him. Kimbozan, Hirada Umi, another Darwin match. Let's see. Oho versus Oshoma. And like I said, Oho with a 10th win here could be leapfrogging up to Sekewake. Haku Oho needs this 8th win because he wants to obviously A, get Kachikoshi, but B, it can mean going up to Komusubi. Ura is his opponent. Maybe he'll have a special prize that'll be conditional. Like you get the Fighting Spirit prize if you get an 11th win, which might motivate him to get one more. Let's see. Okay, so Aonishiki has Wakamoto Haru tomorrow. It's a good matchup. Takayasu has Kirishima. So Kirishima, again, trying to get that 7th win just to only go down to Komusubi. Wakataka Kage has Takanosho. There's no Ozeki to fight. And he, again, needs a 7th win. Takanosho will probably, with that 11-3, will already be a special prize winner. So a 12th win is just a little extra gravy on his how far he goes up the Bonsuke from M7. And then, of course, our big showdown in the final match of the day. Hiro Morita kept calling it winner take all, and it's not winner take all because Hoshoru doesn't get to take all if he wins. He has to wait and have one more match. He has to then win again in a playoff. Onosato takes it all if he wins. He was the champion. But Hoshoru is going to have to fight twice tomorrow if he wants to win the championship. So that is the look. And, in my wrap-up video, I'll go over, all the people that might be getting demoted, and we'll have a much better look after we see what happens on day 15. All right, let me get caught up with comments, and then we'll look at the standings of the contest. All right. I put up some historical footage today over on the Patreon. They did some special poll of Japanese sumo fans, and they showed a bunch of footage on the holiday Tuesday back on the 23rd. So I was able to kind of pull out those little segments and put them up on the Patreon channel. So those are there if you're interested. Some interesting footage from long ago. I missed the very beginning because sometimes they start like the special feature before the English language broadcast kicks on and my DVR starts recording. And I missed the part where they did kind of the Heisei era, which is sort of like the 90s and the beginnings of the 2000s. And so sort of like the sumo I know. And immediately when I tuned in, it was already in the 80s and they were going kind of backwards in time. But anyway, that's up there if you're interested to see it. The last time Ura had double-digit wins was 2021. We can look at that. Let's have a look real quick. I'll check it for you. I don't think it's that far back. 2021. Let's see. Okay, Ura. Where are you? You're way up here, right? Yeah. Okay. Ura. There he is. Okay. See more. Suddenly see more. Wow, you might be right. Damn. It has been a while. He hasn't gone down to Juryo, but man. Yep, there you go. November 2021. 4 years ago. Last time he got 10 wins. He got the Gino show as well. So if you're an Ura fan, and then he also did it in July of that year. And that was in Juryo. He was the Juryo champion. Was that hit? Oh, that was his very first time in the top division. So that was his, hey, I'm here now. My name's Ura. Hello, welcome. So, wow. Yep. And, part of that is why I know it's almost heresy to say this, but part of that is why I think Ura is wildly mediocre, but he is beloved because of his shenanigans. So there you go. Yeah, Mr. Ruiz, we just talked about that. I think Aonishiki will get promoted um, to Ozeki in January if he has 11 or more wins. There is precedent. There has been guys who have they've included the Maegashira 1 wins. It would be wonderful if he did something definitive in November, like win the U show. But as long as he has solid quality wins, we were looking at the fact that he usually beats everybody around him. He beats the Sekewake. He beats one of the Yokozuna. He beats one of the he beats the Ozeki. So if he can do that and get 11 or more in November, I think they'll put him up at Ozeki. It says black screen for us. Oh darn, sorry. When I was scrolling, it was a black screen for you guys. I apologize. I didn't check it. Yeah. Leo says Ura is a gift from space. Yeah. All right. Daniel's here from LA. Hello. Yeah. A lot of us are disappointed with Mr. Hoshoryu. But if he has a good match tomorrow, all will be forgiven. And if he wins, he's going to have to win twice. And that is absolutely worthy of utmost respect. If he beats Onosato twice tomorrow to win the U show, absolutely doff of my cap. He is absolutely deserving of the championship. Yeah. So anyway, okay. Let's look at the standings, and I will make sure that it's not a black screen, and then I'll show you some fun stuff. Dun, dun, dun. All right, there it is. It's not a black screen. So Mr. Asko says 33 wins without Yusho in third tournament has never been enough when Ozeki run has started at Maegashira, and the last time less than 36 wins. You mean 33 wins? Happened in 1985. Somebody got 32 wins somewhat recently and was promoted, but maybe I can't remember who that was. But that was because they won a U show in their run, I will admit. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's somewhat situational because 33 wins is the standard, but it's just like supposedly to become a Yokozuna, you're supposed to win 2 U show back to back. Well, we bend that rule from time to time. So I think if he has the number of wins and he, some of them came at M1, I don't have a problem with him being an Ozeki. So, I understand why Ura's popular, and I get that people love all the crazy Kimarate he pulls off from time to time. I just more often than not think he over exaggerates some of the stuff he does, and he's just not my cup of tea. Not every wrestler. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. I'm saying he's a mediocre doesn't necessarily mean bad. Mediocre means medium. Mediocre means, middle of the road. And I think he is very much a middle of the road wrestler who popularity is way above his skill level. And that's fine. That's fine. And he's cute. Girls like him because he's cute, Okay, but going back over to the standings, Buffalo, Springfield here, and Brutus have 59. They have slightly different teams, so they will not necessarily share tomorrow, depending on how like Shishi or Tobizawa or Shode or Churana Umi do. So that's kind of fun. Mr. Fishy is all alone in second place, and he has almost the same team as Brutus, minus the Hakuoho Wakamoto Haru difference. And then we have David, Johannes, who's fairly new, I think, and Brother Bede, who are all tied for third place. So right now, if it were to end today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 6 of these guys would get a prize from me, and we'll just have to see how it goes. And the person I feel a little for is Rami Panda here, who is just crushing it with the choices, except for Wakatake Kage versus Aonishiki. If he or she had Aonishiki here, 55 plus 5 would be 60, and they would be all alone in first place. But they picked Wakatake Kage, and that's a fair pick going into this tournament. We had no idea he was going to underperform, and that's what's keeping Rami Panda from being in the leaders of 10 wins. So yeah, overall pretty good performance from my team. But we'll see who wins it all. Okay. If you think he's the worst of all time, who's the worst of all time? Oh, should I get involved in the drama? Who's the worst Yokozuna of all time? There's been some really bad Yokozuna. Yeah, there's Yokozuna with no Yusho. I agree with Phone Book. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's true. Shadakapapap. I need to be able to like click on your name and it gives me a pronunciation. Ura's demeanor, the way he does that Zen moment, where he closes his eyes and he takes that tiny bit of salt, and the fact that he wears pink, all of that, I think though is very manufactured and very premeditated. And there's nothing wrong with that. He is out there entertaining the fans, and they deserve that. I used to like a guy named Takami Sakati, and he did crazy stuff, and was not a very good wrestler. But the fans loved him, and so some people, you vibe with, some you don't. And so, but I'm as entertained by Ura as anyone when he pulls off some of these wild moves. Who else has got some wild Kimanite is Aonishiki, but see, I think he earns those skills. He employs them in interesting ways, and yeah. Okay, so what did I buy? I bought a calendar, a desk calendar, and it's kind of interesting. So the way they've done it, this is obviously already 2026, and it's like there's this side which you can make a picture or have it be, the days of the week, and you can flip that, and then there's all these cool pictures of the guys, and they're all labeled in English, and a lot of them it's like smile photos and just really fun photos in here. And so you can, if you choose to do it this way, do you see how these photos on this side, you still get the dates for that month? So yeah, it's kind of a cool calendar. You can kind of mix and match it to your liking, and that'll be a prize that I will give away. So I don't think I'm going to keep it for myself. I have another desk calendar that I usually buy that has Sumo art on it, but I really like this. I think it's cool. So that was a good pickup. I got, and I will open it here because it's for me. I'm not giving this away, but I can get more of these if people want one for their prize. And that is, hey, Tamawashi! I thought they were going to be bigger. I thought he was going to be about, a hair bigger. So it's got a little keychain thing, and, you can cut this off. That's just, he's got a little butt, a little mawashi, and his Keisho mawashi there with the famous sunflower daffodil. And yeah, so this is Tamawashi. And honoring the Iron Eagle there in plushie form. So they have about it looks a lot more like Tamawashi in the drawing almost. They have about 8 of these. Don't have an Aonishiki. Some of the Yokozuna ones, he has a little Yokozuna rope. So anyway, I had to get it. So this one's for me, but I will order more. I think it was this was about 1,500 yen, maybe more. I can't remember. So it's about $10 in the current exchange rate. So not too bad. So he'll probably go over there on the couch and hang out when I do my streams and shows, and then somewhere over here near my computer when I'm not on camera. Hello, Sir Jason, new subscriber here. Hello, always tired. Like 30 minutes ago. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here for a live stream. They're a lot of fun. There's a new wrestler. Keep an eye out for him. Do you know his name? Phone book? Tenrose, I was talking about him in one of the other shows earlier this week, and he got a Make Koshi down in Makushita, so that was a shame. He's oh, okay, I'm back, I think. All right. Anyway, what else did I get? I got some of these clay things that are popular, actual Dokyo clay, and they make these keychains. I wrote down who they are this time so I don't forget. This is Wakatake Kage, and I got Shodai just for fun because he was doing so well. That's a lot easier to read those two kanji and know who it is than these. Pretty tough to read there, but I read the packing slip and made sure I remembered who I ordered. And then I got just another thing to honor the man. I got his handkerchief, his towel, Tamawashi. So nice blue color there with his design. So that and the calendar and the little plushie. I just spent some money in the store. And I don't know if I'll be going to November now because I didn't get tickets and they've already sold out. So I will contact my guy at buysumotickets.com, Jeff, and see. But yeah, I might not be able to get tickets for Fukuoka. So that's always a bummer. La, la, la. Yeah, that's made from the clay from the actual dohyo. Yeah, they're always popular when I give away prizes. People always ask to have that. And I apologize again to Bob. I still haven't sent out his bag that he ordered from the last Basho when he was a winner, but I'm going to do it this week. I've been busy, guys. I've had sumo to do every day, but I will get to the post office this upcoming week. It's sad when there's literally no other sumo fan where you live, always tired. Well, where do you live, always tired? I bet you, if you live in the United States, you'd be surprised. At one point, if you've been a fan of my channel for a while, you remember this. I did this like tell me where you live thing, and the United States, and people sent in, emails, or I forget how I did it. Maybe I did it as a poll or whatever. And I think I ended up with 43 of the 50 states. Somebody responded that they watched my channel. So there are sumo fans in just about every state. I definitely have sumo fans in so many European countries. So yeah, you'd be surprised. I'm not going to be in London. I would love to go. I just can't. Right now, my health is not great and it's expensive. So I can't go. But I really hope you guys have an awesome time. I don't think they're going to show a lot of it here, maybe until it's over. So I'm hoping that, that there are sumo fans that will make videos. If you are going and you make any videos or show what it's like on the outside, the inside, please post them and tell me and send me a link to my email, and I will definitely check out your video and shout it out on Twitter and things like that. He's called Ochiru Saihan. Oh, okay. So he's in Isagahama? Okay, interesting. Who's Albuquerque, New Mexico? Who's in Albuquerque? Oh, okay. Thanks for staying up late. No problem, man. Paris, Texas. Yay. Okay, cool. All right. And what was the one other thing I was going to tell you about? Oh, man, I'm forgetting. Hmm, hmm. Did the standings, did that. Oh, man, there was one other thing I was going to tell you about. Okay, I can't remember. Live TV, I guess, is. I hope the video doesn't get split into two. I hope that after I got back on, it just makes one video. Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to do a poll. How do I do a poll? Let me see here. Hold on. Pop out chat, timestamps. Can I do a poll? Live chat fan funding. Uh, Start a poll. Okay, here we go to end off today. Here's your question. Who will win the You show tomorrow? Or it's actually, for me, it's today. And the answer is Hoshoryu or Onosato. Okay, there it is. Dun, dun, dun. So please vote, and we will see what the intrepid sumo watchers of Jason's sumo channel think will be the thing. Yeah, this shirt is in my shop, so it's my design. I've had this shirt available. I think the font has changed over the years, but it's the message is still the same. And literally, if you're going to go anywhere, especially if you're going to visit Japan, but if you're going to go anywhere where there's a lot of Japanese people, even if you're going to go to like a Dodger game or like Disneyland or something, you're going to get some fun comments. You're going to get some anybody that can read hiragana is going to laugh. It always gets a great reaction when I wear it here. So yeah, it's a fun shirt to have. What does it mean? It means I don't understand at all. And it's just something people say here sometimes in Japan. You'll say something like, you don't know, about Avatar? There's a new Avatar movie, and they'll say, oh no, Zen Wakana Nai. It's like, no, I don't know anything about that. What are you talking about? So for me to be wearing this shirt and it to be in Japanese, and then of course, whenever I wear it, people sometimes they'll just laugh, and then sometimes be like, what don't you understand? Like they're concerned for me, and I'll be like, oh, Nihongo was Zen Wakana Nai. And I'm speaking Japanese as I'm saying I don't understand Japanese, and then they just laugh. So you are very welcome, Gabe, for all my content. I enjoy doing this. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. And the escapist. Will I ever go back to doing my Argonauts daily life? I don't know that I have the time. Sumo used to sort of be like, I would do the weekends. I would do a couple days in the week. Maybe I do 10 days out of 15. And now I really feel like because people are paying me over on Patreon and things like that, I really do feel like it's my responsibility to try to have something up every single day. And it's a lot. It's 15 days in a row where you don't feel like you can miss a day. And so that's kind of like, and then when I don't do it in the even numbered months, like in October or in December, I really feel like, whoa, I really don't want to even like engage with sumo. I always have plans to do more over on the other channel. I did do this thing with music that I want to finish. I did like the first like 5 videos of a series, and I need to make one more for the final, and that went okay. It was fun for me because I enjoyed doing it, and that should be the important thing, right? But yeah, I don't know if I'll go back to what life is like for a 56-year-old single person in Japan videos. I don't travel that much anymore around, so yeah, I don't know how much I would have to tell people. But thank you that you watched the videos back in the day. Uh, Leo's from Switzerland. Yeah. Okay. Well, Switzerland might be tough, but I bet you could find somebody from Switzerland that's going to go see the matches in Paris in 2026. If you started some kind of like little Facebook group, I bet you there'd be some other people. Good, Ozzy. Yeah, I try my best to get my Patreon videos up because I know people, it's part of their routine in the morning, like they eat their breakfast or whatever while they watch the videos. All right, how's our poll doing? Let's have a look. I don't want to end poll. I just want to see the poll. Right now we've had 40 votes, but supposedly there's 96 of you in here. So come on, people, vote in the poll. Hoshoru is losing to Onosato 60% to 40%. I'll leave it open for one more minute and then I'm probably going to shuffle off. Oh, there's another Swiss sumo fan right here in the chat. You got to love it. Will you cover sumo in London in October? No. I just have no way of doing that. But like I just said, I hope sumo fans in England make small videos, send me pictures. If a bunch of people want to do that, and I'll announce that in my wrap up video. If you want to send me pictures and give me authorization to put them up, I'll make a little video of everything that people that went, because there's tons of people that are watching my content that are going. So I hope I see stuff about it. I know Twitter will be full of pictures. And but yeah, for me, I just can't make it out there. I wish I could. Sophie says hello from France. Pep Slayer says yo Jason, yo back at ya. I don't know how I'm single either. I guess I chose to live in a country where I'm not. Somebody asked me how fluent I am in Japanese. I'm not very fluent in Japanese, unfortunately. I understand most of what's told to me these days, but my ability to speak is still not where I'd like it to be. Did you see the Aonishiki interview by Sumo Kaboom? I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched about the first 10 minutes. It was really fun, and then I had to go and do something. I'm not reaching out to any stables or Rikishi now. I think we'll probably have some kind of footage on NHK. There'll definitely be news footage of them arriving, of them, the event. But whether there'll be actually any footage of what happens inside the arena, it depends what kind of deals they've made with who gets to broadcast any of that happening. So the JSA might have made a separate deal with like Wow Wow here or some other, Abema, I think, might have coverage. I just don't know yet. Okay, the poll is going to end in 1 minute, and we've got 50 votes. So if you want to vote in the poll, please do so. Howdy BT, thank you for being a member of the channel. Hello from Vancouver, Canada for Presto. That's cool. Yeah, it's good that a Yokozuna phone book is pointing out, and I agree with him that a Yokozuna is going to win the tournament tomorrow with a good record, and having had to fight another Yokozuna to get the win, which is great. We haven't had that in a long time. We haven't had a Yokozuna showdown. That was what everybody wanted in July, and it didn't happen because Hoshoru had to pull out. So regardless, it's going to be an exciting finish tomorrow, and it's come down to the final day, which is, if it had been decided today, if Hoshoru had lost in the final match and Onosato won the Yusho without even fighting on day 14, that would have been so anticlimactic and so disappointing. So as much as I don't like the way he won, I'm glad that Hoshoru did get that win to make tomorrow exciting. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to be at the Sumo on October 16th. Sam, awesome. Please share, send me a couple pictures if you don't mind to my Gmail, etc. And yeah, I would love to see. No one wants a banana peel basho, yeah. The winner and the runner-up are Yokozuna. That's a Tube Wings question, but I bet you it happened quite a bit. You got to remember there was a time we had 4 yokozuna. I mean, almost almost say it was only 3 because Kiseno Sato was barely in that equation. But we had 3 yokozuna and 3 good yokozuna for a while. So I'm guessing that happened quite a bit back in the day. And yeah, Hakuho in Terunofuji era. Um, I bet you there were times when Asashoru won and Hakuho was the runner-up, or vice versa. So it feels like it used to probably happen more often than obviously it's been able to happen recently. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Dun dun. And it looks like most of you guys feel Onosato is going to win, but it's not a huge one way or the other. There's also 40% of you who feel like Hoshoru is going to pull it off, winning twice, not just once, twice. So that's pretty crazy. Isn't it live on NHK World, Mara says. You talking about London? That would be awesome. I would try to watch that. It'll be weird because it'll be the weird, it'll be a different whole time thing for us here. Although I think the matches are during the day, right? It's not an evening basho. I think, so 8 hours ahead of London. If the matches are happening at like 4 in the afternoon, it'd be like midnight here, I think, but that's not so bad. Anyway. Okay. Very good. So thank you, everybody that gave a thumbs up. We've been on for an hour and 12 minutes, which is awesome. We had a lot to talk about, of course. And thank you to the 100 plus of you that came by to chat. Sorry that it blinked out there for a minute. Thank you, Scrumlass, for your nice comments. Thank you for all the comments, everybody that left comments. Are London matches affecting the ranking? Absolutely not. Just for fun. They're actually doing a one-day thing, and I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up video. I just saw the advertisement for it on Twitter. It's on October 7th, Tuesday, October 7th. It's a one-day tournament, and Onosato and Hoshoru are on the poster. And, what is it for? It might be for a charity. Does anybody know about it? Anyway, it's gonna be, I think, at the Kokugi-Con. I should have written down. I'll definitely know more about it and talk about it in my wrap-up video, which will go up on like October 4th. But yeah, they're doing a one, and I was like, I even tweeted out, like, this looks really cool. Why are they doing it on a Tuesday? And it's starting at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon when almost everybody is at work. Oh, I know why. It was Abema is sponsoring it. So it might not even be on TV. It's just going to be on Abema on the internet. And I'm like, I would totally watch that. But, I have to work like most other people. Anyway, yeah, I think the October, Sam, are you still in there? The October matches in London are at the weekend, right? Aren't they like October 18, 19, something like that? Or at least Friday the 17th? So anyway. Yeah, no, the rankings of all the regional tours, every time they go out and fight in some place randomly in Japan, those never affect anything. It's only the Honbasho, the 90 official matches that matter. So 19 is the last day of the London. Okay, so it's starting in the week and then going into the weekend. Okay. All right. Yeah, I really hope Aonishiki gets a 12th win as well and kind of breaks that. We're all talking about the destiny of 11-4, but it would be kind of fun if he got the 12th win. Yeah, I really don't mind if Hoshoru wins because, again, like I said, if he wins, that means he won twice, and absolutely respect for that. So, all right. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow, on the Patreon. I'll be back here to do a sumo summary show. talking about what happened on the final day, and then my wrap up video with all the prize winners and any other news I hear about Koto Zakura and other things. So thank you so much for coming by. It's almost 1 a.m. now. I'm going to go sleep. So take care of yourselves. Peace.